It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and where else would I be but here with you? DJ Stutz here with Little Hearts Academy and Imperfect Heroes Podcast.com. And I have there's so much going on. I'm going crazy. It's been a crazy day. Not all of it good, but a crazy day. Anyway, I wanted to let you know first off that she's on YouTube. What? Yeah, we're putting the podcast on YouTube. We're just getting started. I'm just putting the first one up tomorrow. And if you're a Rumble fan, if you like to rumble, well, I'm on Rumble there too. And the channel for Rumble is Imperfect Heroes Podcast. So we're pretty easy to find. And on YouTube, it's Little Hearts Academy USA. So you'll find us either way, right? Just Google DJ Stutz and you'll find us. So anyway, I'm really excited about that big development in the history of our little business here and the ability then to reach other parents and help them to find the joy that comes from parenting. And, you know, there are blessings that come even in the darkness. And I'm learning that so much. And it's been interesting to me how that theme has been coming around a lot in the last 2-3 weeks. And you know, when we're parenting and there are hard times and there are big decisions to be making. And yes, it can be difficult, but there are blessings in that darkness. Yeah, when you're going through the temper tantrums, the 2-year-old, the 5-year-old who doesn't want to go to work or go to school, or isn't connecting right. Maybe you're having some neurodiversity issues with your kids. Maybe that just isn't the right thing, and you're starting to ask some questions. Well, that's what this week's podcast is about. So I've got this amazing lady. Her name is Evelyn Shaw Corley, and she is this phenomenal, mega mastermind of education. And she helps you better ask the questions that you need to ask to come to the right conclusions for your child's experience, right? And so whether you're looking at preschool or public school, maybe you're wondering if charter school is better, private school, homeschool, right? There are so many options that are out there. And get this, people tend to think that I'm a homeschooler. Oh yeah, I love my kids' school where they go. They're in public school and I love it. Or maybe private, charter, all of those things. But if there isn't quite that perfect fit, guess what? You don't have to stick with one. You can do part public school and part homeschool. You can do tutoring and specialty things. You can have charter schools and working with, and I've done this with my kids, a charter school that works with their regular public school. So they had certain days that they were in their regular classroom and certain days that they were in a charter classroom. I don't know what that noise was, but I think my husband's working on his car. Anyway, but there are all these choices that are available, and it's not just one thing. That my kid goes to this public school. I went to Vintage Elementary in Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley. So my child goes to Vintage Elementary, right? Or maybe my child goes to Oroville Christian School, right? There are all kinds of opportunities, but they don't have to be just that silo. They can intermingle and find the right match that's for your kids. Well, Evelyn Shaw Corley is a master at figuring out what is the best combination, what is the best thing that you can do for your kid, and then she helps lead you there. So she has Thrive Education, and they actually, oh, excuse me, my voice is a little goofy today. But she has the Thrive Academy. It's an international academy, and she helps them. If you want to do homeschool, they've got the support for that. If you want to do some other things like we've been talking about, she can help you figure all of that out, and it's so amazing. Well, we've got summer coming up. Before you know it, it's gonna be there, right? And summer is a perfect time actually for you to think about, is homeschooling something that I can do? Because you've got them home for the whole summer. And so what kind of efforts is it going to take? Well, there's so many different opportunities there are public homeschools, so they have that public curriculum. There are schools, I have a niece, Bailey, some of you might have heard her on the podcasts. And so she teaches at a school that's a hybrid, like I've been talking about. It's a charter school, and the kids are in class, we call that butts and seats, 2 days a week. And then the other days, she has all of their assignments, all of the stuff that they need to be working on at home. So parents have 3 days that they are teaching at home, but they've got the support of this teacher. And then they're going in 2 days a week, and they're able to check on mastery, see how far they're going. Are they falling behind? Maybe they need something a little harder. And so they've got that. Those programs are available all over the United States. And Evelyn is fantastic at helping that. The summer is a great time, as I was just saying, because then you can maybe try out some of these curriculas that are out there, or just look at some of the things that you want your child to know. So there are things that they're not going to be learning quite correctly or at all, really, in their school. And so you can supplement that and have such fun things to do. If you want to teach them about the state history, go on some field trips with historical places and let them investigate and see what's going on. Are there any dinosaur fossil areas in your area? Is there a natural history museum? Is there a railroad museum? I mean, there's a million different places and things that you can do within your own state, within your own town, and go on these field trips. I know, and I think Denver actually is the only place, if you're ever in Denver, they've got a bank that is made just for kids. No adults allowed. Once you're an adult, 18, you got to go get a bank account. And so they help kids learn, and their whole upstairs is set up so that the kids can have like a little camp. They do little week-long camps, and the kids learn about the economy and demand and finances and interest and all of these things, building products, and what does it take? Amazing things that are available out there. There's also another program, and we didn't talk about it. See, you get all the extra ones when you show up to this. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Tuttle Twins. They've got a ton of books, and they're about like finances and how government works, but they're done so that you can read them to your child. And the funny thing is, as I've been reading to my grandkids, I learned a few things that I didn't even know, right? And one of the books that I really love, it's about the pencil and how when you buy a pencil, what are you supporting? Who are you supporting? Who makes a pencil? Well, nobody really knows because there's so many different pieces. You've got the people who cut down the trees, right, to make the pencil. You've got to get people who do the graphite and get that all ready. You've got the people who need to paint the pencils, make the erasers, hook them on. You've got the transport, all of those supplies to a factory, and you've got all the factory workers, you've got salespeople, and then you've got people, once the pencils are made, do you see how it goes? It is just amazing on when you buy something, you are supporting so many pieces of the economy. Wouldn't you love to have a chance to teach your kids about that and let them make decisions based on, oh, this is how things work. And so it's pretty cool. And so in the episode, in the podcast, we're talking about things that you need to look for before you make a decision on a program for your child. So you need to know your own kid's strengths and weaknesses, and a lot of the neurodiversity that kids have out there is a strength and can be a strength if they have the right teachers that understand how to use that and make it happen for them. And so one of the examples that I talk about is my son Christian, who is Mr. ADHD of the whole world, right? And he was in like exploratory math for 6th grade. Like he was performing low in math. And so they put him in this class and his teacher hated him. I mean, made it very clear. He hated it. We went to back to school night. So it's like, 3 weeks into the school year. And when we introduced ourselves as Christian's parents, you could visibly see him start shaking. Yeah, it was insane. And so I was the PTA president at the time. I went in and talked to the principal. And I said, he's got to get out of there. Like this guy clearly hates him. And she said, who does he have again? And I told her, and she's like, yeah, I've been trying to get rid of him for years. And he's tenured, so I don't know. But she said, really because they were doing year-round school, so they were in tracks. And she said, the only other teacher that I have available on this track with room is honors math. And I said, so he fails honors math. He's going to fail this math. And so what's the difference? He has a different teacher that doesn't hate him. He'll have a different group of friends from the class. And so I'm fine. I mean, he's going to fail either way. It looks like it to me. Okay. So we went ahead and moved him into this honors math class. Well, this teacher knew exactly what to do with Christian. And he wound up with the highest grade in the class. So he went from developmental math, right, to honors math and getting the best grade in the class because he had a teacher that got him. And so one of the things that as you're thinking about all of these things, realize that what worked for your child this year, they may need something different the next year because they grow, they learn, their personalities are developing, and they may need more support or less support, whatever it is. So you're going to be constantly evaluating to make sure that your child is in the right spot. And then another piece that I want you to consider is just because child A is doing this, that might not be the right one for child B. And so I'm always encouraged when I hear from parents or work with parents who say, I have twins and they are very different. And so I've got one in a science-based, right, school. It's a charter school with a focus on science. But the other one is very artsy and loves music and is really into that. And so there was another charter school that was focusing on art. And so they were twins, but they were in different schools in the focuses that they excelled in. So I know that's a lot to think about. And I know that you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can barely get them all to the same school, right? But you'll find a way. You'll figure it out. And that's part of what we talk about in the podcast this week. So, and here's just one other little thing that's so cool. She's a delight. She is upbeat and happy. And even if you're not worried about these things quite yet, if you just need to pick me up and want to hear someone sweet and wonderful, listen to this episode because Evelyn is just amazing. And so in there we have a link. She has a book out and it's called, hang on, because I wrote it down here. It's called Awakened Teachers, Bold Truths and Beauty. Isn't that fun? Truth and beauty. And isn't that what we're looking for? So I have a link to that. I have a link to all of her websites and all of her socials, and it's in the show notes of the episode. So there you are. And this is not one of the episodes that I have up on YouTube or Rumble, but I am putting another one up, one from a little earlier. And Susan Hoos is fantastic. And she's talking about how to know, you know, it's one thing to be a parent, but are you also a leader in your home? And she, again, is just delightful and thoughtful. She's a life coach, and she just asks a lot of pointed questions, and she doesn't let you wiggle out of it. So anyway, if you want to give us a try on Rumble and YouTube, I hope you will. Be sure to subscribe or follow, and leave a comment. Let me know what you like and what you'd like to see. And so anyway, next week we're coming up with another fabulous episode, and I hope that you'll join us. Hang on, because I forgot, whoops, which one we're doing. 98, oh yeah, it's on bullying, and with Dr. Kate Lund. And actually she grew up with hydrocephalus and was that different child. And now she is an amazing psychologist. She's done a TED Talk, and so you will love her too. All right, so until next week, let's find joy in parenting. Bye, guys.